Part 2, Chapter 8, Chloe Klopp's Feline Intervention.
Darn speculative residue. 72% of my optical sensors are currently registering the universe as deep-fried. Sam, we have company, 6 o'clock low. Biological entity, feline configuration.
Is it Cloclops? Did that murder fluff stow away?
Negative. The spectral signature doesn't match any terrestrial domestic breed. It appears to be indigenous and unthreatening. It's merely observing us. Judging us, perhaps?
A ship cat. 1 billion years old and they still needed someone to knock things off shelves. I like these gardeners more and more. Biff, forget the crime scene for a second. Smell the air. Really smell it. Beneath the old library smell.
Olfactory senses engaged. I am detecting high concentrations of complex terpenes, caryophyllene oxide, and, my word,
it smells like my lab on a Saturday night, Biff. Only bigger. Much, much bigger.
Your intuition is shockingly accurate, Sam. The atmospheric analysis indicates that approximately 40% of the ship's oxygen generation is coming from a specific botanical source. According to this spectral match, Sam, the Atlas vessel isn't just a ship. It contains a cannabis cultivation sector that is roughly the size of Rhode Island.
Chapter 9. The Captive Deity.
These readings are off the charts, sir. This ancient smoke shouldn't even burn.
Billions of years old, and it still smells like trouble. Hey, Biff, check the chronometer drift again. How many Earth hours have actually passed since we parked Betsy in the dirt? Because if we've got the time, I think a little stroll is in order. Maybe meander down to that cannabis tier? It feels deeply disrespectful not to sample a billion-year-old local harvest. For science. Obviously. Sam.
I believe the botanical tour will have to be indefinitely postponed.
Is the ship watching Earth?
Not just watching, Sam. It is tracking a specific resonance.
Let me guess. That's not a marker for a cosmic tourist trap.
Hardly. That red hexagonal perimeter is locked onto the Archuleta Mesa.
Precisely, Sam. Dulce, New Mexico, the site of the most heavily rumored deep underground bioengineering facility on the planet. And according to this billion-year-old control deck, something down there just triggered a critical warning. I don't suppose there's a help screen or a tutorial menu hidden in there? Maybe a billion-year-old frequently asked questions section? Negative, Sam. The interface operates on a base 144 numbering system, layered with a form of quantum-entangled syntax. The gardeners did not believe in user manuals.
They operated on the assumption that if you were sitting in this chair, you already possessed a planetary-scale intellect.
Okay, let's think about this. A billion-year-old ship doesn't just randomly start flashing a red hex over a subterranean military base in New Mexico. Not today. Not right while we happen to be standing here. Biff, what if that alarm isn't a warning about what Earth is doing naturally? What if it's related to the crime scene right here?
The resonance hypothesis. An extraordinary deduction, Sam. I am filtering the Dulce alarm's telemetry through the molecular shear patterns we recorded at the throne. You are entirely correct. The alarm is not tracking a human military experiment. It is tracking a piece of its own missing anatomy. The exact frequency of the God Rod that was snapped off this console 1 billion years ago, it is currently broadcasting from deep beneath the Archuleta Mesa.
So whoever mugged the pilot 1 billion years ago, they didn't just take the tech, they planted it in our backyard.
Sam, no. Wait,
what?
It's not the hardware? The telemetry is significantly more profound than a stolen component, Sam.
I was cross-referencing the frequency of the God Rod, but I missed the underlying bioharmonic.
This isn't a mechanical ping. It is a consciousness tether.
Translate that into Maui logic for me, Biff.
The biosignature, radiating from the ground facility, is a perfect match for the residual molecular memory on this throne.
The pilot. The being that was violently extracted from this vessel a billion years ago, it is currently imprisoned beneath the Archuleta Mesa.
They had a captive deity in the basement.
You know, this computing power is unbelievable. And these screens, they are real nice. Very easy on the eyes. No blue light fatigue at all. I mean it. Think about the rig we have back on Betsy. It's all hard light tactical readouts and analog dials. Could you replicate this kind of organic OS aboard the TR-3B? Give her a billion-year-old user interface upgrade?
Replicating a bioluminescent quantum interface aboard our craft presents several unique hurdles, Sam. OS replication feasibility. Betsy versus the seed. The medium. The screens here are not projected light. They are excitable etheric spores suspended in localized chronon fields. To replicate the easy-on-the-eyes effect, Biff would have to cultivate a microcolony of these spores inside the TR-3B's cockpit. The processing power? The Atlas vessel uses a crystalline mycelium network to calculate its base 144 math. The TR-3B relies on a highly advanced, but fundamentally terrestrial, quantum core. The interface method. This console lacks a keyboard because it reads intent. If ported to Betsy, Sam would have to fly the ship purely by thinking about it. A risky proposition, when his thoughts are currently drifting between cosmic mysteries and the Rhode Island-sized cannabis tier. However, if we can successfully extract a cutting from the biobotanical sector, I could theoretically splice a localized version of this display into Betsy's navigation console. It would certainly reduce your optical strain during deep tesseract jumps.
I knew I kept you around for a reason, Biff.